So, but in regards to the disagreement, kind of circling back to the point of Minnesota and not investing, you brought up the point of migration into the state and the immigration. And I think two of the large populations here are the Somalian population and the Afghan population. And that goes back decades, right, of these people coming to the state and coming to our country. And while the current administration is doing a lot to address illegal immigration, the fact of the matter is, especially in the state of Minnesota, a lot of these people are here legally. They're lawful permanent residents. And there's a lot to be said maybe about, there needs to be a mindset or culture shift within the populations. But I think it's really easy for the Republicans to be pointing their finger at these populations. What would you say is the solution, the boots on the ground solution for our generation to be addressing that problem, given the fact that even if, the ICE enforcements were to go as far as they could, these people were brought here legally. So what is the solution for those people?
The last thing that Charlie said to me when we were speaking, I actually owed him a text, but the last time we were speaking on camera together, the last thing he said was, Michael, I'll see you in Mogadishu, because of the immense population of Somalis in Minnesota. And he was always quick with a line, he was pretty good. And obviously we've seen this in recent years. I mean, it's just a tremendous growth in this immigrant population, and it's an immigrant population that does not really assimilate and that is associated with lots of crime and a drain on resources. But some of them came here legally. And the answer is that we have to drastically reduce legal immigration as well as illegal immigration. Not because we don't like the people, not because these are bad people necessarily, some of them are, but because no country can absorb an unlimited number of a foreign population. It's simply not possible. It's no knock on them. It just does not work. And so in the case, you mentioned you've done this very charitable act. Thank you so much. You've done this really charitable act of adopting young boys from a foreign population. If someone comes here at a very, very young age, the odds that they are going to assimilate to the culture, especially being raised in a family from that culture, are pretty good. If someone comes here at age 30 and it's an economic migrant and they don't want to learn the language and they don't want to assimilate and they're going to live in their own ethnic enclaves and commit crime, it's just not going to happen. And so we have to drastically reduce immigration, because immigration is not a right for anybody, exactly, and it's not just about ticking up GDP, and America's not just an idea. It's a real country, and real countries have real traditions and have real peoples, and they have real places and geography. And so we have to be able to acknowledge that. And we have to be able to say, look, we're a country that at various times has let in a lot of immigrants. We're also a country at various times that has basically stopped immigration for large swaths of American history. And now I think we're kind of in one of those times.
So what I'm hearing from you is it's very much a go-forward strategy. But coming back to maybe my original question of, what's the solution, though, for current state, Twin Cities? The population is here. Say we don't let anyone else in. They are reproducing at a rate much faster than, maybe with the exception of the Catholics, but much faster than most people in this city. So what is the strategy in order to try to inspire these people to assimilate here, rather than just kind of pointing our finger and saying it's a problem?
Well, someone just suggested everyone else needs to have more babies. That's a good suggestion. I agree. But also what you have to do is you have to enforce the law. So the Somalis who are here, for instance, who are committing all sorts of crimes, they need to be arrested and they need to be punished for those crimes. The Somalis who have committed immigration fraud, not naming names, they need to be let go from their places of employment, even if it's the U.S. Congress, and they need to return to their country of origin. And so you can enforce the law in a just way that's not capricious or arbitrary or ex post facto. But one of the big problems is when someone is here legally or they do gain citizenship, there's not really much you can do. And so you do have to look forward, and you have to more seriously weigh the consequences of letting these people in the first place. You could go a long way by simply enforcing the law here and by refusing to accommodate the eccentricities of their culture, forcing them to learn English, making it a requirement that you assimilate in order to access public services and resources. That's one way to do it. You add a lot of pressure And when you add all of those incentives together, suddenly it turns out people begin to react to them. We can do it. We don't need to throw up our arms. We don't need to say there are too many Somalis or whatever and now the country's over. It's not over. It's a strong country. It's a great country. The bones are there. The muscle is still there. We can do it. We have to want to do it. We have to be committed to doing it. And I think in part we have to do it to honor our friend. Thank you so much for the question.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a beautiful one coming from Michael. I think this is my first time hearing him speak, but I think it's someone I would love to check, most of his videos. So concerning this immigration of a thing, or illegal immigration, I feel it's something that needs to be looked into critically. You understand, especially in a country like America, where everyone is trying to migrate to. And based on Michael, he said they are not only cutting down illegal immigration, they're also cutting down immigration in general, you understand? At least before you have the opportunity to come to the United States, you need to be adding value to the United States, you understand? You don't just come simply because you want to be there, you understand? If you're coming from visit, it's fine, you can come and go. But if you are coming to the United States, there should be a valid reason, you understand? You should be there to help the country grow. I think that is the best thing as of now. As a visitor, you are bringing your finance into the country, spending time, visiting, important places, getting to know certain things, then go back to your country. You are bringing your currency, converting it to the US dollar, spending the US dollar, it's helping the economy. So whichever country in the world or all countries in the world want to benefit, you understand, even in developing countries, they are trying to put in ways to bring people into their country. But as you are coming to the country, you're not coming to take from the country, you're coming to help the country grow, you understand, give back to the country. And when it comes to American is right now, I think their population is really, really high, you understand. Nigeria, we have almost 300 and something million citizens, and American have a whole lot. That is it. I think almost 300 and something, or maybe heading to 400 and something million. So I think they are not in any way looking for more people to come in. They are therefore looking for the way to make sure that the people that are in the country are gainfully employed, and also trying their possible best to cut down their crime rates, you understand? And also several things, just they're trying to make sure the country is working. And American is a country that then their primary language is English. So if you're coming to America, you definitely need to learn how to speak English. You understand? Because you need to be able to communicate. You don't come into a country and start speaking your language, and the country might feel they are tricks, or they are risk because they don't understand what you're saying. So before you go into America, I think you need to go through this English test and whatever to make sure that yes, you are able to speak, you're able to communicate with people. You understand? And it's a major requirement, and it's a plus. So I think that's what Michael said. Michael made mention of that, and there was a certain time America was looking for truck drivers. They actually made it open that if you can drive truck, you can apply and you get a visa, you'll be able to work and maybe get a permanent stay. That is it. And I see my friends or people I know go to American with this route of joining the military. I think that is an automatic way of becoming a citizen. But at least you are imparting, you are helping, or you are doing something for the country. You are not just taking away from the country. And I know people, illegal immigrants in the country right now, some of them are imparting in American positively. But the truth is, were you there the right way? Did you jump through border? Do American have an open migrate system with your country that you can easily enter? It's just like we in Africa or West Africa, we have this body called ECOWAS, whereby you can move through different countries without even having a passport, you understand? As far as you have ID card to prove that you are from a neighboring country, you're allowed entering into other African countries. So if your country have that relationship with America, then I think immigration will not be an issue, because you can easily walk into America and do what you want to do and live, you understand, depending on the relationship you have. So if you are there and you know you are there illegally, so the best thing is to leave the country, try and process your paper, come back legally so that you have rights to do several things like open accounts and at least be able to sleep with the two eyes closed. Because right now, if you are walking in the street, you are scared. Will immigration hold me? Am I? Oh, why don't you just do things the right way and enjoy